You know that feeling, right? That private question you ask yourself late at night? The numbers on paper, they look good. So why does it feel like you're just treading water?
You know, six figures. That used to be the line, the one that meant you were rich, that you'd finally made it. And hey, maybe you've even crossed that line. But the feeling you expected, it's just not there. It just feels normal. And sometimes, if we're being honest, it could even feel kind of tight.
I mean, think back to that offer letter for a second. You saw that salary, and it was like, okay, a quiet sense of arrival. You got there.
And then the direct deposits start hitting your account. The money's real. It's actually there.
But that feeling you were chasing, that sense of security, that feeling of having some breathing room, it's just missing. The math seems to add up, but the feeling just doesn't. So what is actually going on here? Well, let's dig into it.
All right, so the first piece of this puzzle, it's not really out there in the world. It's in here. It's all about how our minds adapt. See, the moment we start to earn more, the goalposts, they just shift. It happens so silently you barely even notice it.
It has a name, actually. It's called lifestyle inflation. And it's sneaky. What used to be a luxury is suddenly just normal. You know what I'm talking about. The better apartment, the nicer car, eating out more often. Those things stop feeling like treats. They become the new baseline. And you're left standing in pretty much the exact same spot, feeling that same pressure, just with a much higher cost of living.
And you know, there's actually an old economic idea that perfectly explains why this new, upgraded life doesn't always feel better. It's the simple concept that the first taste of something is always the best. Remember that first really nice dinner you treated yourself to after getting a raise? It probably felt incredible. But the 10th one? It's just dinner on a Tuesday. This quote really nails it, doesn't it? The exact same thing happens with our spending. Each new thing we buy gives us a little less of a rush, a little less satisfaction, until, poof, the thrill is just gone. We're spending more money, for sure, but we aren't feeling any richer. Okay, so the second reason for this feeling is a lot simpler. It's not about psychology. It's just about the math. We're talking about that huge gap between the number on your offer letter and the number you actually get to keep. We all do it. We anchor ourselves to that big, shiny number on the offer letter. Our whole financial identity gets built around it. But here's the tough part. That number isn't totally real. It's kind of like a pre-tax fantasy. We end up making plans with money that really was never ours to begin with. And this is where that money goes. Look at this. Federal taxes, state taxes, FICA, other deductions. Poof, poof, poof. Before you even get a chance to touch it, that impressive salary can shrink by a third, sometimes even more. The reality of what you actually have to live on is just so different from the identity you built around what you thought you were earning. All right, the third reason, this is the one we don't really like to talk about, because it's not about what's in our bank account. It's about what we think is in everyone else's. It's this invisible pressure that's just all around us. You know, it's just human nature to kind of look over our shoulder, right? To see how we're doing compared to others. We're all looking for a yardstick to measure our own lives, and so often that yardstick ends up being other people. It's this deep subconscious drive that pretty much all of us have. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. As you start to earn more, your social circle, it changes. And so your yardstick gets way, way longer. Suddenly, you're not just measuring yourself against your old friends, you're measuring against people with bigger houses, fancier vacations, the whole thing. You find yourself constantly looking up, making what they call these upward comparisons. And the result? It's usually not motivation. It's just this quiet, nagging feeling that you're somehow behind. And today, that yardstick is literally infinite. It's right there in your pocket, on your phone. You're not just comparing yourself to the people on your street anymore. You're comparing yourself to a perfectly curated global highlight reel of everyone's best moments. And that feeling of inadequacy that comes from it, that's not an accident. It's the whole point. The goalpost isn't just moving anymore. It's algorithmic. So all of this, it leads us to what might be the most important distinction of all. It's this quiet misunderstanding that's really at the heart of this whole broke feeling. And it's the crucial difference between earning money and actually owning it. Let's try an analogy. Think of your income like a river. A high salary? Well, that just means you have a really powerful, fast-flowing river. And yeah, it's impressive. There's a lot of motion, a lot of activity, a lot of water just passing through. But wealth? Wealth is totally different. Wealth is the reservoir that the river is supposed to flow into.
It's what's left over. It's what accumulates. It's that still, deep water of your assets, your savings, your investments. That's the thing that provides real, actual security.
And this, right here, is the core of it all. You can have this massive, raging river of income, but if all of it is flowing right back out just as fast, through expenses, lifestyle choices, all of it, then your reservoir, it stays empty. And that feeling of being broke, even when you make good money, that's the anxiety of having a fast river, but a dry riverbed. It's the feeling of a ton of motion, but no real progress. It feels like fragility, not freedom.
So that really just leaves us with one final, quiet question to think about. What if the goal we've been chasing has been wrong all along? What if that feeling we're all actually searching for isn't found by making the river flow faster, but by making the reservoir go deeper?